How's it going, you guys? AZPlow21 back again with another pay-per-view in our UFC save in WMMA 5, and it's a pretty big one. UFC 282, Holloway versus Rodriguez. The featherweight championship of the world is going to be unified in our main event tonight. We also have a big welterweight championship fight between Vicente Luque, coming off that win over Tyron Woodley on Saturday in real life as I'm recording this, as he's taking on Jorge Masvidal. And Masvidal's been on a tear both in real life and here in the game. The welterweight championship on the line in that one. Also got basically a title eliminator between Ricky Simon and Dominic Cruz. Chris Weidman taking on Paulo Costa, and Michael Chiesa taking on the always exciting Nate Diaz. Should be an exciting card as always. I'm AZPlow21, thanking you guys for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. Be sure to follow me on Twitch so that way you guys can watch my live streams. As always, I appreciate it. We can take a look at what is next to come, and what is next to come is very, very important. Literally, the next day in game, UFC 283 Super Lightweight Grand Prix. There's really no main event, but I guess you could say Kevin Lee and GSP is the main event. But this is the Super Lightweight Grand Prix. This is the beginning of a new era in the UFC, a new division, a new champion to be crowned at the end of this. 7 out of the 8 first round fights for the Grand Prix will take place on this pay-per-view. I'm very excited about it. Hope you guys are too. That's what is to come. But now we have UFC 282, Holloway versus Rodriguez. Let's go ahead and get into it. The show taking place in Hawaii. This is Max Holloway's first fight back in over a year. In that time, YAIR Rodriguez has become the interim champion and defended it once. First off, AJ Agazarm taking on Christos Giagos in the lightweight division. Giagos, number 20 in the UFC. Agazarm in at 7-1. Unranked, his UFC debut as well. And Giagos beats Agazarm via TKO in round number 3. Up next, Ibo Aslan taking on Kennedy and Zekchukwu. In the light heavyweight division, Kennedy, this guy's coming off a win in real life as well, but in here, he's coming off a loss to Alexa Kamer. And Aslan, 1-2 in the UFC, coming off a loss in his own right. And it's Kennedy and Zekchukwu who gets the win over Ibo Aslan here at UFC 282. Improves his record to 10-2. Up next, Kakeru Fuma taking on Brett Johns in the bantamweight division. The young man from Japan is 9-2. Make that 10-2 as he gets a win over Brett Johns here today. And Fuma, a lot of confidence in his submission game. As we move on, Tim Elliott taking on Benito Golden Boy Lopez in the bantamweight division. Tim Elliott, veteran of the Octagon, coming off a loss to Yuri Alcantara. Benito Lopez coming off a win over Michael Wooten. And Benito Lopez beats the veteran Tim Elliott via unanimous decision. Love to see it. Young men getting big wins over veterans of the Octagon. As we move on, and Jakar Close is taking on Charles Air Jourdain in the lightweight division, 155. Both guys virtually identical in everything else, and Jourdain gets a win via knockout in round number 3. Now 5-1 in the UFC and on a 3-fight winning streak. So he's having a good time. Jakar Close now 6-5 in the UFC. Gary Tonin taking on Pavel Kielek. Kielek is 15-5-1. He is 1-0 in the UFC, coming off a win over Luis Gustavo on the Prospect Showdown. Gary Tonin, 2-0 in the UFC. Wins over Alex Munoz and Rafael Fiziev. And Kielek gives Tonin the first loss of his career. Just 45 seconds into round number 1. This guy's a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner. And he loses. That is very interesting. Congratulations to Kielek. James Krause taking on Shavkat Rakhmonov in the welterweight division. And the James Krause goes to a draw with Shavkat Rakhmonov. So very interesting there. You don't really see that many draws, in this game. Krause was coming off a win. Rakhmonov was coming off 2 straight wins. So very interesting. Maybe we look to do it again with these two. Moving on, Brandon Ruckus Thatch taking on Magomed Nurov. Thatch is 16-5. Nurov is 10-2. And Magomed Nurov knocks out Brandon Thatch in round number 2. And that was his UFC debut, so congratulations to him. Mahmoud Muradov taking on Kiamrian Abasov. Abasov 25-6. Muradov 26-7. He's 4-1 in the UFC, having a pretty good time. This is Abasov's debut here in the UFC, and it's a good one, beating Muradov via unanimous decision. Moving on, the last of the prelim fights. It's Mike King as he takes on Idris Gezalov. Both guys only with 1 loss on their record. Mike King, 1-1, we should say, in the UFC. Gezalov is 1-1 in the UFC, coming off a win over Dusko Todorovic. And Gezalov gets the win via unanimous decision and improves to 12-1, a pretty impressive record early on in your career. It's time for the main card, and it's Michael Chiesa going up against Nate Diaz. Now, Diaz in this game has not had a very good time. He got a win over Damian Maia very quickly. Lost to Jorge Masvidal. Lost to Robbie Lawler. And then the last time that we saw him, he had that trilogy fight with Conor, and he lost via knockout in the first round. So not the most impressive record by any means, but Nate Diaz still up to the task and still very popular, mid-level national, so give him a big fight here against Michael Chiesa, number 7 in the welterweight division, coming off a win over Neil Magny, but before that was on a 3-fight losing streak to some absolute killers. Colby Covington, Vicente Luque, Warley Alves. Chiesa's the underdog. With good reason. Nate Diaz submits Michael Chiesa. A little bit of a resurgence maybe for Nate Diaz. That is very interesting. Awesome. So Nate Diaz with a big win here on pay-per-view. And that takes us to our middleweight contest between Chris Weidman and Paulo Costa. Now, Paulo Costa, 17-3 overall, the number 2 middleweight in the division. Now, he was kind of slated to get another title shot, but you see, he lost to Elias Theodorou his last time out. 29-28 all around the board. So now he kind of has to get his groove back a little bit. And he takes on Chris Weidman, the number 9 middleweight, who's coming off a big win over Alexander Schlemko. Weidman is the underdog here, and with good reason. Paulo Costa knocks out Chris Weidman in round number 1. So Paulo Costa trying to get back into, contention for that title again, and this was a good result as he looks to do so. Ricky Simon taking on Dominic Cruz in what is essentially a title eliminator, I believe, in the bantamweight division. Ricky Simon, number 3 in the division, coming off a win over Cody Garbrandt. Before that, lost to Piotr Jan. Dominic Cruz, number 5 in the division, coming off 2 straight wins over Volkanovski and Yadong Song. Maybe not a title eliminator, but definitely it'll have us know who is one of the more deserving contenders in the division. Because currently Nathaniel Wood is already going to be fighting for the bantamweight championship. Ricky Simon is the underdog, and with good reason. Dominic Cruz knocks out Ricky Simon in round number 2. The fight was rated as being great. Love to see it. Dominic Cruz, another big win in his career. That takes us to our co-main event for the welterweight championship of the world. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal taking on Vicente Luque for the welterweight championship. Jorge having a good time. 4 straight wins. Ben Askren, Robbie Lawler, GSP, and Rory McDonald. That's insane. Lost to Leon Edwards. That's the only flaw on his record other than the Usman loss. incredible. And that was a very close fight also against Leon. Maybe they'll have to do that again sometime. Vicente Luque, you know the deal. He's been unstoppable. Nico Price, Ben Askren, Ponzinibbio, Michael Chiesa, and then he beat GSP via split decision, mind you. But he beat GSP, and then he defended his title against Leon Edwards. Knocked him out. It's our co-main event of the evening for the welterweight title. Let's get it going. Chris Lieben is the referee for the fight. Interesting. As round one begins, a touch of gloves. Both fighters meeting in the center. Left hook to the ribs. It'll be very interesting to see what happens here. Masvidal, if he knocks out Luque, that would be incredible. But Luque, very good grappler. Scything low kick. Hook to the body. Second half of this round, they come together to strike. Both fighters meeting in the center. Masvidal scores to the left hook. Not much going on here in this first round. I kind of figured we were going to see fireworks. Someone was going to get... Luque... Masvidal's down to the floor. Luque trying to finish him off. Ooh. He can't finish away Masvidal. Round one expires and Luque wins the first round. Almost finishing Jorge Masvidal. Very, very interesting. I mean, Masvidal's not young by any means. Vicente, a lot of time left in his career. He could end up being just like dominant. Just like I think he can be in real life. He's like 1 or 2 fights away from a title fight now that he beat Tyron Woodley. Luque nails a right cross. Uh-oh. Big right hook. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Chris Lieben has called us up to this contest at 2 minutes, 35 seconds of the second round. Declaring the winner by knockout and still the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, Vicente Silent Assassin Luque. Knocking out Jorge Masvidal. That is incredible. He's just the best. He's the best. And that brings us to our main event of the evening in what is certainly going to be rather exciting. Yair Rodriguez and Max Holloway. For the undisputed featherweight title of the world, we already know Yair Rodriguez, the current interim champion. Kevin Aguilar, Edson Barbosa, Michael Johnson beat Brian Ortega to win the interim title and then defended it once against Cub Swanson. He takes on Max Holloway, who has been out for a while. I mean, beat Volkanovski and got the title back right away. Beat Zabit and defended it. Beat Andre Fili and defended it. And then he took a little bit of a sabbatical. And here we are a year and 2 months later, and Max Holloway defending his crown against the interim champion, Yair Rodriguez. It is our main event of the evening. Let's get it going. Frank Trigg is the referee. Holloway in front of the home crowd in Hawaii. Very exciting. He's a slight betting favorite. They're coming together to strike. Holloway hits a solid right hand. Nothing really going on here early on. It'd be very interesting to see what happens in the later rounds. Right hook to the body. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Frank Trigg calls us up to this contest at 2 minutes, 52 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by TKO and still the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, blessed Max Holloway. Max Holloway coming back after a year off, no big deal. Let me win the title back. Yair Rodriguez serving some good time as interim champion, but Max Holloway is back. 29,000 in attendance in Hawaii, gate of over 8 million, 26 million on pay-per-view, no big deal. Popularity increases all around. You'll love to see it. Now let's see. What was fight of the night? Nope. Let's see. Any fantastic fights? Good, decent, great, good. Let's give it to Holloway and YAIR. And then Nate Diaz performance bonus. Pavel performance bonus. Let's see. Anyone else? Let's give it Apollo Costa too. All right. Those are the bonuses. 32 million, I should say, in profit. As always, we're going to update our rankings, take a look at our emails, and take a look at what is next to come. The Super Lightweight Grand Prix, as we look to skip all of this stuff right here. Yeah, Super Lightweight Grand Prix. I'm super stoked for it. I think it's going to be very exciting. It's going to take a long time to actually like develop and like finish, but it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be awesome. The only thing is there's one fight that needs to happen a couple months down the line, and that is Conor McGregor and Rory McDonald. They were originally scheduled to fight other people in their first round fights, but they were both injured and they're out for a little bit of time. So I wanted to keep them in the bracket essentially. So I just decided to put them up against each other, and that fight will happen later on down the line. As you can see, Rory McDonald on the screen right now. I'm excited. I think it's going to be awesome. Brings back, vibes of like Pride FC, the Grand Prix and everything. Speaking about just MMA in general, we have a new heavyweight champion in Francis Ngannou. Now, Ngannou will probably fight Jones next, and we've already done that. We've already done that fight twice in this save, and John Jones won both times. I don't know, man. I feel like it might be a little bit different in real life rather than in game. And this is coming from a huge John Jones fan. That's just going to be an exciting fight to see. We also are probably going to get Conor and Dustin again, July sometime. And I'm just excited because there's going to be live fans in arenas again. And you can say whatever you want about COVID, but the UFC just isn't the same without fans in attendance going crazy. And I'm going to be there. Jacksonville for UFC 261, Usman versus Masvidal 2. I'm going to be there. Me and my buddy Jake, we're going to Jacksonville, and I'm super excited for it. I'm spending a lot of money to go on this little vacation to Jacksonville. I don't care. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a part of it. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. Let's go and update our rankings. And nothing really going on at heavyweight. Light heavyweight, no movements. Middleweight, no movement. At welterweight, Vicente Luque is now the number 1 welterweight, which makes no sense because he was already the champion. Nurov is number 23 now. At lightweight, Giagos moves up to number 17, and Jourdain is ranked now. Congrats. And Kielek is ranked now at number 20 after beating Tonin. Interesting. At featherweight, Yair Rodriguez moves down to number 6. At bantamweight, Cruz moves up to number 3, Simon down to 6, and Fuma up to number 24. No movement at flyweight. Nothing for the women, it looks like. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and check these emails. And it looks like Michael Chandler's recovered. We need to re-sign Michael Chiesa. Of course, we're going to do that. We love Michael Chiesa here. Tim Elliott. How has he been doing? 2-fight losing streak. Low-level national, though. Still a little bit to offer. We're going to go ahead and keep him. Drakkar Klose. 2-fight losing streak. He's lost 4 out of his last 5. We're going to re-sign him, but we're going to send him down to WEC. So hopefully he can get his stuff together down in WEC. Because he's a pretty good fighter, and I just hope that he does okay. Oh, wow. I just saw something that, it's not entirely happy, but nonetheless, we're going to re-sign Gezalov. Colby Covington failed to make weight for his super lightweight fight. By how much? Because Mike Perry also failed to make weight. Benito Lopez needs to be re-signed. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's go ahead and delete these. How much did he... 2 pounds over the weight limit. Not super bad. Oh, well. Mike Perry, 3 pounds over. Ooh. He's fighting Mateus Gamrot. And Colby's fighting Moicano. Anyways, our next fight night is going to be interesting. UFC 283 Super Lightweight Grand Prix. You can take a look at it there. Very exciting. I'm AZPlywood21. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. The Grand Prix awaits.